Got anything on you?
Stay with him. I'm at my house.
Okay, I don't know. I'm asking you. What's your name?
Gervonta.
Gervonta. What?
Gervonta.
Gervonta is your first name?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your last name?
They're saying he can get anywhere up to 7 years if convicted of all charges, right? When you break down the situation, when you're a celebrity or an athlete,
what began as a low-profile federal operation has escalated into a major investigation that now jeopardizes Gervonta Davis. Authorities discovered substantial amounts of unregistered cash hidden inside Florida mansion following reports that he had been purchasing jewelry with cash suspected of being untraceable.
Gervonta Davis, world champion, man. Oh, man, not again, dog. You the big dog, man. Hey, you Baltimore's finest, man. Yeah, across the Delaware Bridge, right? Yeah, that's him. That's you. Yeah, man.
And not linked to any declared income. These revelations have raised serious concerns about possible money laundering and prompted federal agents to Gervonta Davis' long-standing history of legal and financial troubles. But this time Gervonta Davis the spotlight, the shadow of Floyd Mayweather Jr., former mentor, promoter, and longtime influence looms heavily over the situation. These revelations surfaced just as Mayweather has been linked to a multi-million-dollar real estate scam involving a fraudulent company accused of defrauding investors.
What do you have to say about the charges against you?
Gervonta, you were charged.
You got nothing to say, guys. Come with me. I'm your bond.
Did you punch that woman in the face?
You got nothing to say.
Right now, 4:30, a boxing star bonding out of jail in Broward County and refusing.
The timing has sparked speculation among fans and analysts alike, raising questions about Gervonta Davis may have been influenced or even groomed into similar questionable dealings under Mayweather's guidance. Gervonta Davis followed closely in Floyd Mayweather's footsteps, mirroring the flash, the wealth, the luxury cars, and the controversies. But as federal agents delve deeper into Gervonta Davis' dealings,
charges and more. On September 19, 2017, an arrest warrant was issued for Davis, who was being accused of first-degree aggravated assault. The charge was later changed to a misdemeanor second-degree assault, which carries a maximum potential sentence of 10 years or a fine of $2,500 or both. At the court, Anthony Wheeler, a childhood friend, complained that Davis punched him on the side of the head with a gloved fist. He then stated that he was diagnosed with a concussion at the hospital. The incident...
Many believe the similarities now go beyond image. They point to something deeper, like Mayweather. History marked by domestic violence, public altercations, and now the looming possibility of financial misconduct. The discovery of the undeclared cash reportedly came during follow-up proceedings tied.
In March 2021, he was indicted on 14 counts for allegedly causing a serious car crash after running a red light after a November 2020 birthday party in downtown Baltimore. His Lamborghini struck another car and left it smoking, sending the occupants to the hospital, including a pregnant woman. He allegedly left the scene in a Camaro that pulled up minutes later. On February 16th, Davis accepted a plea deal that saw him plead guilty to leaving the scene of an accident involving bodily injury, failing to notify an owner of property damage,
to the 2023 burglary of mansion in Parkland. That break-in took place while Gervonta Davis serving jail time for a 2020 hit-and-run, and it resulted in the theft of millions in luxury items including exotic cars, like a Lamborghini Urus and a Ferrari SF90. At the time, the extravagant display of wealth raised eyebrows.
Now, beyond that case, he also still had a hit-and-run accident case that was still hanging over his head from a couple of years ago. And so he finally went before the judge for sentencing, and he ended up getting 90 days of home detention along with 3 years of probation. So as of right now, it's reported that he's spending those 90 days with his trainer, Calvin Ford, and looking forward to moving past this 90-day home.
But now federal investigators are looking at it from a new angle. Was all that money legitimate? The cash now under investigation was reportedly never disclosed in Gervonta Davis filings or banking records. Sources close to the case say the money wasn't stored in any official financial institution. It was simply stashed inside his home. This method of keeping large sums off the books is a well-known red flag in financial crime probes.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean?
and the involvement of multiple federal agencies indicates the case is being treated with serious urgency. The situation has also reignited interest Gervonta Davis from Mayweather Promotions. For years, Davis publicly hinted at underlying tensions with Floyd Mayweather, often voicing frustration over how
I felt like I wasn't supposed to be in it.
Hey, take that shit fly right here.
I ain't gonna lie, your beard is finally good.
It was a learning experience. You know what I mean? It showed me that that's not where I want to be. And I got kids, you know what I mean? I got kids that I gotta take care of. Got family, friends, and everything I gotta take care of.
How his career was being managed. YouTuber Showbiz the Adult recently weighed in, suggesting Gervonta Davis not have been about money, but rather a deeper lack of trust and control over his own path. Despite being celebrated as the face of boxing, Gervonta Davis has yet to truly test himself against a full slate of elite opponents. A strategic choice many attribute to the lasting influence of Floyd Mayweather. Gervonta Davis, you
guys are talking about what Gervonta Tank Davis said, talking about him pricing himself out, saying that he won 150 M's for his rematch with Ryan Garcia. Y'all want to know what I think about that whole video? It looks like Gervonta is on the outskirts. Listen, man, where everything is happening, dude, all these fights are being made over there. It just looks like Gervonta is on the outskirts looking for the perfect op, but at the same time, talking about how big of a
be the face of boxing without ever fulfilling your legacy, said Showbiz the Adult in a recent video. That hunger for meaning, for respect, for something beyond pay-per-view success may be fueling Davis' increasingly unpredictable behavior.
For me, go get the money. It's right there. The bag is right there. Go get it. I would go get the money because these fights are going to always be there. These boxers are always going to be there to fight because none of them are making the type of money that you're making. Not saying they're not making the money, but they aren't making Canelo.
Recently, the WBA lightweight champion abruptly announced his retirement, stating that he simply wanted to make his money and stay out of the way. Gervonta Davis at the time, some interpreted it as a sign of a fighter finding peace, but now others see it as a man trying to step away before more comes to light.
You saying he fighting for the money. You ain't saying Mayweather the promotion trying to make the most money off of Tank possible. You saying he fighting for the money.
If he said he went in there 0 times and requested the big fights, obviously he don't really care about the big fights. He just want to get the money, in which he's doing a good job at.
I mean, maybe he just let his team, come up with who they think should be next for him, and maybe that's why he hasn't gone in there, because anytime we see him, hear him after a fight, well, gotta sit down.
Gervonta Davis a high-profile rematch against Lamont Roach in August 2025 in Brooklyn, a fight he's described as one of his last.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's
fast, but whether that bout will happen is now uncertain. The outcome may hinge on the progress of the ongoing investigation. If charges are filed.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. Let's run it. I'd be super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Or his assets are frozen. Davis's boxing career could come to a halt long before that bell ever rings.
One of the biggest names, obviously, is Gervonta Tank Davis. 13 sellouts in a row, 2 division champion. You and him were very close to fighting. Will we see that in November?
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What weight would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
Go ahead.
If people want to know, can you bring Glory back to Cleveland?
What began as a low-profile federal operation has escalated into a major investigation that now jeopardizes Gervonta Davis. Authorities discovered substantial amounts of unregistered cash.
Scheduled the fight for sure. How real, or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight.
Hidden inside Florida mansion, following reports that he had been purchasing jewelry with cash suspected of being untraceable and not linked to any declared income. These revelations have raised serious concerns about possible money laundering.
We're in discussions with a lot of names: Gervonta Davis, Anthony Joshua, Badu Jack, Ryan Garcia, KSI, Tommy Fury. So there's a lot of people on the hit list, but Badu Jack excites me a lot, and I definitely want to become world champion. So going after Zerto or Badu sounds like a good game plan to me.
If you had your pick of the litter, in scale of 1, 2, and 3.
First is...
and prompted federal agents to Gervonta Davis' long-standing history of legal and financial troubles. But this time